for coming. I really appreciate it. I'm really excited about this opportunity. I am Ashley Satterfield, and I'm an English teacher at the high school. I teach all 10th grade. So, our children. Oh, great. Okay. Awesome. Chloe, yes. Oh, awesome. Yeah, so I do. I'm sorry. No. So I'm really excited that you all are here. This is a really great travel opportunity for not only your children, but for you if you all are interested. We are part of a travel group, so Miss Barrington and Nichols are also involved. I just happen to be the group leader of this particular trip. So that's what I'm presenting today. But yeah, so I'm really excited. Let me give you a little presentation, some background information on what the trip involves, and just a little bit about us as well, because you are trusting us with your children, so definitely good to know us too. We are recording this also, so if there's anything that you missed, I'll send that link out tomorrow so you can rewatch it. If you have any questions after that, feel free to email me or
finagling.
sorry, we're assuming for a first thing, we have a lot going on.
I do have a lot going.
Positive.
And it's not advancing. The Zoom slideshow. There you go.
Okay.
So much.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Garcia. I go to Indio High School in the Coachella Valley. I come from a Hispanic and Latino community. Culturally, it's always, you're staying here with me, you're gonna be nearby me, you're gonna stay here, you're not gonna go far away. It was always just a dream. Traveling was dreaming. The option of being able to travel was really exciting. Being able to know that there was an actual trip planned to go to Japan and that I might actually be able to go. Being given the okay and the opportunity to go was just amazing, and being in a different country was really cool. I met great people. I ended up making friendships. I got to learn about their culture, and I got to learn about how they did what they did and like why they did it. Teachers and adults need to start talking about traveling and making it an option. Because I know I'm very, very grateful for my travel leader, because if it weren't for her wanting to open that door for us, I wouldn't have gone, and I wouldn't have the traveling bug. I wouldn't want to continue to go to different places, or it would just seem hard to me and I wouldn't like actually be able to do it. I think they need to know that they're giving their kid a chance of a lifetime, that they're opening their door to something amazing, and that they're gonna be so entirely grateful for it.
So we are actually doing Japan this coming summer. So we're kind of excited for that one.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
But we are going to Europe. Yeah, so we are going to Europe in 2025. So we still have a couple years to go, which is great, builds up the excitement, and also time to save up and be able to, make those payments a little bit smaller, so it's not just right around the corner. That's why we chose to do it every couple of years, just to, give some wiggle room to everybody and feel comfortable once they get over there. We're going to Austria, Germany, Liechtenstein, and Switzerland, and we'll be there for 12 days. So just a brief overview of what we're going to cover today. Just intro, we'll go over our itinerary in a little more detail, what's included, the travel partners that we're working with, in particular EF Educational Tours who we're going through, safety and support that we have for the trip and even before if you have any concerns, and the price and how to. This is me. So we work as a group with Vinton WorldTrekkers, and it is basically trying to encourage everyone in the community to travel because we feel that, you know, it's fun, it's important to go experience new cultures, and it also allows us to open up these opportunities to not just students, but to everybody. And why I travel, so here are some pictures of my travel. I've been to Senegal and Gambia and West Africa, and there's a picture of me and some of my friends in Italy. I also lived in Spain for about a month when I was in college. So I've had the opportunity to travel around, not only with my family, but on school trips. And those were always my favorite because I was able to experience things with my peers and go and explore and see things that they were interested in that were on, you know, same age group, things like that. But it was always really cool to come back and share those experiences with our other friends who maybe didn't have that opportunity and then give them that travel bug too. So that's a huge reason why I travel. I love it. I love experiencing new things. Broadening my horizons and that. So I'm going to bring that to the notes. Okay, so why educational travel? So just a number of things that I probably brought up. It introduces new ways of learning. It provides innovative hands-on skills. So there are things that even as a teacher, I believe that you can't learn just from a book. It's really important to go learn things hands-on and see those cultures firsthand. I know personally for me, when I went to Africa, the roads were not paved and there was red clay everywhere. And I never would have experienced just those small cultural things coming back. I had red clay all over my clothes, shoes, and all of that. And even just those little things were really cool to have hands-on and knowing their experience. It gets students off screens and interacting with the world, which I know is a huge feat nowadays, since we're one-on-one with school and phones all the time. It's nice just to go and interact with what's around us. And it complements the academic curriculum. I teach world literature, so this was part of the reason why I wanted to get involved with this too, because a lot of the texts that we read in my English class, we're going to those places that they're talking about in those novels. And my husband teaches too, so he teaches 10th graders. And that was a big reason he wanted to go, because a lot of the things he talks about, you'll see in the curriculum. And it provides an opportunity to discover your life passion. So there may be things that you haven't even considered pursuing or looking at, or even other places that you want to travel until you actually see it. And so I think that that's a really cool opportunity to go and experience. Okay, so we are working with EF Educational Tours. They have over 55 years of experience. They have staff on the ground 365 days a year in over 50 different countries. And there happens to be an office in Lucerne, Switzerland, where we're going to be. So we'll have a direct contact there, which is great. They're a world leader in international education, and they are accredited just like our school. So it's a respectable group that we are traveling with. They are on top of everything. So I know safety is a huge concern, especially when we're going overseas, and they are on it. So if we ever need anything, or if travel plans change, they are there to inform us, and then we're there to. Okay, so let's talk fun stuff, itinerary. All right, so as you can see, there's a lot going on in our 12 days. So again, that's a huge reason I picked this one, because we are on the go. So we start off, we leave out of Roanoke Airport, which is nice. It's right there. Send your kids off and, make signs, whatever you want to do. And so we'll fly into Vienna. We head over to Salzburg, Munich, Tyrol, Vaduz, Lucerne, Neuschwanstein Castle is on the way. Then we have Heidelberg, Rhineland, Cologne, Bonn, and then we go to Frankfurt and we fly out for. Yeah. But yeah, so we have a lot packed in there. But what's really cool about it too is that though we have a lot of activities, we also have opportunities for you all to explore on your own, which I think is a huge part of traveling as well, is being able to go out and learn how to navigate cities and things like that. That's an exciting part. So we're going to visit Schönbrunn Palace. It's Vienna's most famous UNESCO site. So that's what we will go and experience firsthand, which I'm excited about. So we're going to explore Marienplatz in Munich. So here's the central square. You can see there's a lot of old architecture, again, a lot of photo opportunities, and a lot of things to explore. And then Lake Lucerne, I'm really excited about this one. So basically, here is Lake Lucerne, Switzerland. You'll be able to explore around the town. As you can see, it's in the Alps, so it's gorgeous.
It's the Campbell Brook.
That bridge.
Yeah.
And it's ancient.
It's burnt down a couple times and they've rebuilt it a few times, each time too.
Okay, so just breaking everything down by day, we're going to fly overnight to Austria, and that's where we will meet our tour director. So days 1 and 2, we're going to visit Schönbrunn Palace on day 3, and then we'll take a guided tour of Vienna and enjoy a Wiener Schnitzel dinner there. So of course, you can't forget about the food that is part of the culture. And then we'll visit Dachau, the concentration camp memorial site. Oh, whoops. It goes Florence and Salzburg. Sorry, I missed a little dot of line here. We'll go to Salzburg, which I'm a huge Sound of Music fan, so I'm stoked for that part of the trip. Then we'll take a guided tour of Munich on day 5. We'll go to a lot of iconic sites there in Munich, including the Munich Cathedral. And then we'll visit the Dachau concentration camp memorial site. I'll read. So I have a testimonial from one of our former travelers. Yeah. And so he described his experience visiting the Dachau concentration camp memorial site. He said, "For me, Dachau was an amazing experience. I love history, so seeing it filled me with joy, but also with sorrow. I saw a gas chamber and a crematorium. The camp was set up in a way to make it feel like you were a prisoner. It definitely made you feel that you were there." Yeah. So I know that is going to be a very emotional and interesting part of the trip because of the experiences there. So I'm glad he was able to put that into words.
He's coming on this one again, so I'm curious to see what his initial reaction will be when he was a little bit younger. So that's one area where I'm interested in seeing.
Okay, so day 6, we're going to Neuschwanstein Castle. So we're going to see it. We won't go inside, but we have a really unique opportunity to visit the Linderhof Palace. And as you can see, it is beautiful. It's just as gorgeous as Neuschwanstein, and so I think that's going to be an exciting part. I love things like that. So I'm really excited. Then day 7, we are going to travel through Liechtenstein on the way to Lake Lucerne. We'll take a walking tour of Lucerne, and we'll explore the ancient bridge that's been rebuilt multiple times, Capel Brook. And then we will go to Freiburg, and then we'll visit Heidelberg Castle. We travel to Rhine. So as you can see, there are a lot of different castle sites we're going to, but also some really stunning scenic things like Lake Lucerne and the Alps and all of that. So there's a good mixture of the history mixed with more scenic routes. And then enjoy a Rhine River cruise, and we'll go to Bonn and Cologne. And then we get to go to the Haribo factory store, which is really exciting. So if you like gummy bears, this is the trip for you. And then that's when we travel home. So usually there's the option of extending the trip a couple days. So we decided to take that extension because while we're over there, might as well. So that's why it's not just a 10-day trip, it's 12 days. So we can really get to see all of those different things and go to the Haribo factory store. And the food, can't forget about that. So I'm really excited. My family came over from Germany and Austria, so that was also a big reason why I picked this trip. And so a lot of this food is near and dear to my family's heart. So I'm really excited to try it firsthand. And go and have some fondue in Switzerland. I mean, girls, you can get the.
I fondued by the river. I actually fondued, but I kind of regretted it because it's hot when we were in Lucerne. But I had a view of Capel Brook Bridge. It was right there on an outside cafe. I had my fondue. It was hot, but I still ate it because it was good.
It's hot, but I can't. Okay, so travel dates. Block off your calendars from July 10th to July 29th. Our requested dates are the 14th through the 25th, and they're usually pretty good.
Physical model here, just because it helps, right? This is what we asked for, but depending on tickets and deals, it could move this way, or this way, or this way, or this way, right? So if you block off all of it, then regardless of what they end up with, then you know that you're not like running into other plans that you already have or something. Okay, sorry.
No, you're fine. I appreciate it. So it says the flexibility with these dates, like Ms. Nichols was just saying, is that it really helps create the best experience. So that's why we have this full window. But it also says we will receive our confirmed dates about 2 to 3 months before the tour. So we'll let you know as soon as we know. So our group could also be combined with another school. So that's another reason why we have to kind of look at dates. But even if we do have to, it's a really cool opportunity to meet students from other part of the country who are experiencing the same things that we are, and getting to know other students. So regardless of if we have our own private bus or not, it's still a really cool, give and take experience.
It's basically what it is. You travel with a group of students each time. Like the first 2 trips that we took, we had led, we were grouped with other students. So my very first trip that I took to Greece, Italy, and Spain, we had students that were from Pennsylvania in Harrisonburg, and we had students that were all the way from Portland, Oregon. And throughout the 12 days that we were in Greece, Italy, and Spain, they traveled together, they roomed together. So when we came back stateside, I had a group of girls that got really close together. They got really close while they were on a trip. They took road trip up to Harrisonburg when we got back before they went off to college, So it's like experiences. Yeah, so it's.
Okay, so what's included in our itinerary is pretty much everything, but here they are specifically. round trip airfare, hotel stays at quality clean accommodations, regional style meals for breakfast and dinner. We also have a tour director who will be with us 24/7. Transportation on tour, including the motor coach bus. We also have our local guides. So for whenever we go to specific cities that they, have their specific knowledge on that location, we will have them there. Guided sightseeing of all our destinations and entrances to all the landmarks and attractions. So really, as long as, you're just coming in with some extra spending money, you wanted to buy souvenirs, things like that for home, and some other meals on your own while you're out exploring, then that's really the only thing that you would need to bring. Because everything here is included, which is nice, especially for, the sightseeing and entrances to all the landmarks and attractions, because, we're already paid, so we can just go on through. So that's really nice.
And we have a tendency, we have appointments. So if we are at, for example, we're going up to see a castle, like when we went to Heidelberg, no. When we were going up to Mount Pilatus in Lucerne, we skipped the line. So that is probably one of the best perks there, is that we have reservations, we've got this big group of people. We skipped an entire line of people and we were up there first. And the same thing when we were on our river cruise in Rhineland. It was like, there was all these people, she skipped all of them and got us on. I was like, okay, great. And the great thing about the tour director also is that they are fluent in whatever the target language is. So we are not fluent in German or the Austrian version of the Deutsch, but our tour director was. So she communicated quite easily with everybody that was there. So it's like, that's probably one of the best things about having the tour director with us 24/7, because they are there basically to help us and make sure that we are having the best experience possible.
She was another adult who was with us. So one of the hotels that we were in literally had separate buildings, but it was all the same. So she stayed on one in case the kids had an emergency and shared on that. Like they know that we're with kids and we want to make sure that the kids are safe and everything else. So it's really handy and it's wonderful, and it'll just keep them on.
People just check out, all right, dinners everywhere.
No, they're in the hotel with us.
Right.
They
Yeah.
might call, I have to go run to the office,
Sure.
I have to go run to the bank, I have to do whatever, but it's usually during the weektime. So we're talking about flight examples. We made my son, their job to get on Google Maps and figure out where I'm gonna meet you. And he was like, okay. And we ended up meeting her at the Munich cathedral, and she went on her way to like stopping and go to the bank and tickets for whatever and met it. So it's very, very handy to have them there with our language. My son has an allergy, she needs to make sure they're safe, like all of that.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're there, and they are with us from the moment we land at the airport to the moment we get our tickets, and she can't get any further at the airport when we are leaving. So they're there from start to finish the entire time, and they are in each of the hotels that we are staying.
And I think that's such a great added bonus too, with going through a company like Kia. Especially because I've gotten a lot of responses of, we're thinking about doing a trip on our own and, going through all of that. And it's like, more power to you, but with all of this, getting the tour director, having everything, transportation, all of that, you really can't beat it.
And our bus with a Mercedes, I mean. Waiting 30 days, I could show off the back of their road and Mercedes. Yeah, driving.
We were.
Okay, so some of the stuff I was talking about before with what you all will be responsible for, so passports and visas if applicable, baggage fees, tips for local guides, the bus drivers and the tour director, and then the snacks and food.
You get 2 meals a day guaranteed. That is part of the cost. Sometimes, depending on whether it's a travel day, you will get either a breakfast and a lunch or breakfast and a dinner. But you will get guaranteed 2 meals a day. So if you don't eat 3 meals a day, this is probably the best thing for you, you know? But we do suggest that snacks, you do actually just go out and try the local cuisine, and that's why they serve 2 meals a day, so that you have the opportunity to go and explore and try out the local foods.
So why we partner with EF, we touched on some of this already, we've seen their phrases, but you can see that there are so many different offices throughout the world that are available to us. And the good thing is a lot of them are located exactly where we're going. So we have a lot of support. We have, you know, for any sort of emergency situation, or even if we just have safety questions, anything like that, they will be there and there. So they provide local support and insight. They have a safety and incident response team. So again, if there's some sort of emergency, they are there to respond. Rigorous health standards. And I know that that is, you know, a huge thing now, even though we're post-COVID, it still exists. So that's good to have. And that 24/7 core director and chaperone team support, especially with them knowing the language, that's huge. So good thing to have. Okay, so more about EF. So they have the personalized learning guide. It helps students put a personal lens on their tour. They can tap into their own interests and passions. So, you know, if you're interested in architecture, things like that, or art, that is, they get their own personalized learning guide. High school or college credit. So students can earn 0.5 high school credits or 3 college credits. Do we provide that for, is that available?
The half credit.
Yeah.
So it is included,
Okay.
and you just basically just go with the Roanoke. If you're with Roanoke County, you just say, this is what I've done. So EF is an accredited school with high school as well as in college. They do have a partnership with Southern New Hampshire University. So you can get college credit as well as high school credit. So for the high school credit, they will give you a transcript. They will have teachers actually reviewing the assignment or the project that the student has created. So if the student is going abroad and they want to study the architecture of Germany, for example, and they have leading questions and they have basically a plan that the student will have to follow in order to, like they will do activities before, while they're on tour, and then kind of wrap it up when they return. And they submit all of that to EF. The EF instructors, the teachers will grade it, and they will give the transcript back to the school. And the same thing with the college credit with Southern New Hampshire University. They are accredited and they have a partnership with the college. So they will actually sign up for a course with Southern New Hampshire University for that 3 college credit, undergraduate credit. So again, it is through that. The Southern New Hampshire University instructor will grade their project and then send it, and you can request a transcript from Southern New Hampshire University. Okay.
So that's definitely an option that is available to you if that, if you're interested in that. Also college essay help. So they have a college essay guide that helps students use their tour as inspiration for a personal essay for admissions officers. And I know my husband is a former admissions counselor, and so he knows how valuable some of those experiences are with sharing those and showing that you're well-rounded and worldly to any potential colleges. And also, I think some of you are probably going to be going into your junior and senior years of your students. So that would also be a really great opportunity going into college admissions and all of that. And then just the personal growth that you go through. So not only can you get, you know, college credit, essay help, all of that, but just the growth mindset, learn to embrace new challenges, Students expand their worldview. They discover more about themselves and they gain access, or sorry, gain necessary skills to make an impact, which I feel out of all of this, these are the most important. And that's why we do it, is to take students out, to give them that global perspective, to come back with that confidence of, you know, oh my gosh, I survived public transportation in Germany, I didn't do anything. So just that sort of personal development and growth is really what we're trying to accomplish with these.
So just, and I'm all about the stories. Sorry. And it goes with the growth mindset and the global perspective and personal development. So my very first trip, I had, but like I had many students that never traveled out of the country, much less out of the country without their parents. So, and I had several students that had never gotten, in each of our trips so far, we had several students that have never even gotten on a plane within the United States. So for them to go on a plane with their teachers and a few students and do all of this on their own, help them to actually develop themselves. Because we have had students that have gone on to college. It's like, if it wasn't for the fact that we had gone to the Louvre, I would not have known that I wanted to do art history. Or if it wasn't for this trip, I would not have been able to go on this study abroad, but we've had former students that have studied an entire semester, like an entire semester abroad by themselves. Well, we've had also other students that have studied an entire year, their freshman year of college. They studied in London for the entire year by themselves. No parents, no nothing. They got on a plane and they always messaged back and said, if it wasn't for this trip that we had taken with you, we would not have been as confident getting on this plane on our own to go travel on a different continent.
Hey, London's underground. It is a complete map.
So, and she navigated it easily because she had done that trip with us, and she's like, I got this, you know. And while she was there that year, she traveled to 26 different countries the year that she was in London. Right? But it was worth the experience, you know. So she like her younger sister and her mom are traveling with us to Japan this summer. So I mean, you know how much of a good experience it was for them, because they're willing to come back and travel with us. So even moms and dads were like, I'm so glad they did this beforehand, because I would never have sent my daughter to go by herself and study abroad for an entire year.
So just going further into support, we have our travel team, and they basically help me every step of the way from planning. I've been in close contact with our travel team, so they've been working with us since we said where we wanted to go. So they are there to support. We have our tour directors that we were talking about, who are bilingual, that help lead our tour, handle all the logistics, along with also giving us insight into their local history and culture. We have our traveler support team, and that helps all of you, parents and students, to answer any questions, from payments to dietary needs, anything like that. I know that there's always a little bit of hesitation or nerves, so they're there to help support you. So if you have any specific questions, they're there to make sure that those are answered, so you feel comfortable when we're traveling. And then there's me. So I'm here to support you too. So if you have any questions, I can also answer those along with Ms. Nichols or Ms. Farrington, all working together on this. So booking with confidence, another benefit of working with EF is that we have peace of mind programs. So this is for the group. This program provides the group with flexibility to change our trip during uncertain times and unforeseen circumstances. I know one of the conversations I had with one of the leaders at EF, one of our tour leaders, was there were some trips that were planned before there was the Ukraine-Russia conflict. And so they were able to make those adjustments. I don't know if you want to elaborate on it, but they were able to make those adjustments.
We literally decided,
You
like,
were going to Poland, you were going to Hungary, and then we went, no, we're not.
and we were actually able to change that 3 months before we had to travel.
That quick.
So-
So that's a huge benefit for the group, because I know that could be a huge thing to, if you're doing it on your own, to try to maneuver. But then we also have protection for you all as individual travelers. So we have the global travel protection included. It provides coverage for baggage, property, any trip cancellation or interruption. Then we have the global travel protection plus, and that's an extra $350. It's available to everyone when you enroll. So this plan has all the benefits that you would get with the global travel protection, but it allows for cancellation for any reason up to 24 hours prior to the departure. And then
This one can only be added when you enroll,
You can't go back and change it later, you have to do it.
okay? But this one is already included in the price that you will see later on.
And so for enrollment, just to go a little bit more in depth about that, there is a risk-free enrollment period. So anybody who enrolls by this Sunday, September 10th, you can cancel for any reason up to 14 days after enrollment for a full refund of 100% of the money paid to the app. So I recommend, because we have a certain number of travelers that we're taking, if you are at all interested, using or taking advantage of this risk-free enrollment. So enroll before September 10th, so you can hold your spot. And then if you change your mind, you can.
And with the global travel protection, if the 14 days has passed, the only thing that you're really losing here is the cost of the travel protection, which I think is like 165 or 195. It's one of those. But that's the only difference here. Whereas here you get up to 24 hours and you're losing whatever the cost is for that protection. Okay, so that's basically what that is. And here you get 100% if you cancel within the 14-day window.
Is that $350 per traveler?
Yes.
Okay.
So there are a couple ways too, if you wanted to do some fundraising, there's also a scholarship opportunity. So there's the Global Citizen Scholarship. It's designed to help students discover the world, which is what we're doing. So EF awards up to $100,000 in scholarships each year. It is needs and merit based, but any enrolled traveler may apply. So if you would like to apply for that after you enroll, that is available. We also have the customizable tour fundraising page. So every traveler who enrolls will get their own tour fundraising page, and you can use that as you see fit. So you're not required to use it, but if you would like to, it is available. So anyone can contribute, send your fundraising page to friends. I know with social media, this can go a long way. So if you post something, on Facebook, Instagram, whichever social media platform, I know that can really put a dent in that total. So 100% of the contributions will go directly toward your tour balance. So EF doesn't take any sort of percentages or anything like that. It goes directly.
With the holidays, that's a really good thing. You want to buy something.
Yeah.
I made a QR code and I sent it with my business card to people that to the friends that I know would actually contribute and give. I send out Christmas cards because I like getting mail, not just I don't.
No.
Send them out a month early. Put it
Yeah.
send them out a month early.
Decided it to one friend.
So basically, just an overview of everything we get with this total price. So we have the itinerary and logistics, so everything that's included on tour, all of the payments and protections, so the flexible payment options, also that personal tour fundraising page, the global travel protection that's included as well. Safety and support, which I know you have the personal traveler account online, the traveler support team, 24/7 safety and incident response team, even close to where we're traveling, the Peace of Mind program, and then just, what it's all about, that personalized learning, where you can do project-based learning guides, credit, college essay help, and then just the overall growth that you get from going abroad and traveling and meeting new people.
The important slide.
Yes.
It's the slide you've been waiting on.
So there are flexible payment options. So this one is the bi-weekly option. So that would be $113 bi-weekly, and that includes the $95 enrollment. We also have the option of $226 monthly, and that also includes the $95 enrollment fee. So that's completely up to you. I know that there can be different ways that you would like to pay for this, and so that's why we have flexible options, whether it's bi-weekly or monthly. That's completely.
And if you wanted to make an extra payment, you can, and then it'll recalculate, and then you'll get a new monthly payment or a new bi-weekly, huh? Say what? So if somebody were to give you a donation on your fundraising page, they will recalculate your balance and give you a new payment bi-weekly or monthly. So there is that option.
To the beginning of July, so it's like paid off by the beginning of
Yes.
July.
So it would calculate up to July of 2025, and that's how it readjusts, which you.
So there's your two, and then if you got it, go ahead.
Right, so if you wanted to pay in full, the student cost is $5,039, and then for adults it's $5,000.
Because adults are always just more expensive everywhere we go anyway.
So we are offering the discount right now. So if you enroll by Sunday, September 10th, there we go. You get a $200 discount and the risk-free enrollment. So your price would go down to $4,839 and then $5,639. And again, if you do pay that enrollment fee, and you wanna hold your spot by September 10th, you have those 14 days to decide if you wouldn't like to come or if you would still like to continue. But I recommend, putting down that enrollment fee because then you can take advantage of that $200 discount, which I know can really make a huge impact.
There is an option for manual payments also. So there is a smaller fee. There is, I think it's like a $50 fee if you enroll in the manual payment, and it's less frequent. The frequency though is you make 2 payments, one 30 days after your enrollment, and then I think there's another payment of at least 5, huh? Huh?
Unless it's changed,
I think it's 50 to be in the manual payment.
but you have to make it in 500.
Yes. So it's $500, 30 days after you enroll, and then another, I think it's another 60 or 90 days after you make another 500. And from that second payment, you don't have to pay again until 110 days before we travel. And if you change your mind and you want to enroll in the monthly payment plans or the bi-weekly plans, you can do that also at any time.
So there are a lot of different options to make this happen, because ultimately our goal is to take kids abroad and give them that experience. So we want to work with you all in any way that we can to make that happen.
Not bad. Go forward. Always forward.
So if you would like to enroll, we have 25 guaranteed spots. The enrollment deadline is Friday, September 15th. So you have time to think about it, but again, if you all would pay the $95 enrollment fee, that will not only hold your spot, but it will give you that $200 discount. So that is a really great option if you are even just considering. So enrollment is open. I know we have, a few days until September 10th, but if you wanted to enroll today, you can. So, but of course, we will have all of this information. I'm going to send out an email tomorrow to everybody with this recording, along with the enrollment QR code, or the enrollment page, so you guys can enroll if you are interested. And if you have any questions at all, please send us an email. Our contacts, I think there are contacts throughout the email, also with the enrollment fees and all of that are information on that too. So I know that it's a lot of info, so on calculate. So
My biggest question is, so when I enroll in the $95 for our spot, then we also have that's when the 350 is right, if you want that spot.
The $95 is just to hold your spot. You can pay the $350 throughout your payment plan. It's not too
okay.
you
So I have to select.
Yeah,
That's what
you
I'm
just
curious.
have to select.
I understood.
Okay,
That's what I'm-
no, good question.
At that time, but it's not due all of that.
Correct.
And you can also dictate the date that your payments come out.
Right.
That's all for purchase. Pretty cool.
I fully expected to see you skipping down. You must.
I told my husband that on this, like on those doesn't, I go, I'm marching around that fountain, right? You're gonna have to take a picture. And he's like, oh god.
Not a picture, it's a video.
It's a video.
It's a video.
It'll start online and there will be break.
Start to keep my voice lessons down. I love it. Yeah, so it's an exciting trip. I know there are logistics involved, but again, if you have questions, we are here to address those. I'd love to you all enroll.
Any other questions, concerns? I wonder about date, given that
airfare is so much more expensive going into July. How do you take their children? Why not June or like where I'm county is out in the May. June is still a good time to travel, less expensive. So July.
The dates with PF don't necessarily impact, because we have a group, they get a new rate. Because it's business, they get that deal as well. Cherryville and I have a lot going on in June in the school year, and I know that Satterville does as well. So that's one reason why we kind of. But
And sometimes we have kids that are in the academy courses during the summer, trying to get ahead of like their junior, senior year. So that way it's like they can do their course and not worry about having to be gone for about 2 weeks. Because I know that this year there was the French teacher took students out to France and they came back and was like, I have 4 weeks to complete all my coursework. So I took that into consideration because I work summer school and I know how those kids actually feel coming back from a trip and they're taking a summer course and they have to get all of that stuff done within 4 weeks or however long. So,
Our kids are in marching band and.
yeah, that's gonna be because Mr. Wyven is exceedingly supportive. He knows that this is a phenomenal opportunity for everyone to learn. Because we've run into that before, and now that my son is in band, that is something that I've considered. So yes, I fully understand what you're worried about, but he knows that if you're growing the kid, you have to give the kid experience. So they might be a little bit behind. I know that when we went last, our kids came home, slept for the night, and then went down late at the weekend. They were there and they got to still participate, and
And they're not finished like away. They just have a lot.
I mean, this is awesome. So he knows. He does.
And full disclosure, I have a lot of band students here. I went to a performing arts high school, so I'm a huge music nerd. So I'm trying to get as many band music people on this trip as possible, so we can do some like musical things.
Well, I can tell you, our tour guide also, as we were driving up to Salzburg, played Sound of Music for us on the bus, and I got a picture of a sign that says Salzburg with the little movie thing that had her spinning on the hill.
and she took the video of us running through the thing.
I was skipping.
Yep.
They're real naughty. Okay, any other questions? If you're still unsure, go ahead and talk to Mr. Biden about it and see if it makes sense, but he has always been very supportive.
It's not that he wouldn't, my son just wouldn't. They
That's the same. Well, that will be going into their senior year, and leadership, and Brian from the. I didn't say no. We love it. It is trying.